everyone, my name is Mishika Rajpal and today I'll be talking about adaption, a key to survival in difficult times. Let us start with the dictionary definition of adaption. Adaption is a modification of an organism or its parts that makes it more fit for existence. Some of the synonyms for adaptation are reworking, transformation, variation, adjustment, modification. Doesn't all these sound familiar? Sounds like something we deal with day in and day out. Big or small but that's the reality of life. We live in an environment where we have to adapt all the time for survival. From the times immemorial, from the age the humans lived in caves to the ultra-modern world, they have to adapt to the changes happening around them. The form, size, shape, and scale of change also keeps changing. Wow, that's quite a mouthful of change. Cut to today's age, we are living in crazy, complex, and complicated times. From COVID to war in Europe, life has become a yo-yo for all of us and our parents. So, what's the mantra for survival and success in these times? It's the word, adaption. We have to modify our DNA and put this in our genes, so we are always in a perpetual adaptation mode. Adaptation is also very important for our self-growth. If you're not prepared for these challenges, a natural selection will impact our comfort zone and eventually threaten our survival. Let me share some of my personal experiences about adaptation. When I was 6 years old, me and my family moved from Delhi to Mumbai. For me, it was a different world. I was very upset and cried a lot. I did not want this change. I was happy in my world. It was suddenly different thinking, different perspectives, different food, different lifestyles, different cultures. But I learned that the only way for me to be happy was to adapt, be flexible, and change the way I used to think and expect people to be. Learning for me was that there would be all sorts of people in different stages of life. So I have to understand their thinking and what shapes their perspective. That will be easier for me to adapt to them. Another example I would like to share is when I changed my school from the CBSE pattern to the IB school. CBSE and IB are two very different teaching and learning styles. Our minds get used to a particular learning pattern over a particular period in time. Also, habits get formed over a particular period in a particular learning style. So, I learned that we have to keep our mind in control and not let it become a hostage of a particular learning pattern. Keeping our mind open to different learning patterns in all periods of time helps. So when the majority learning pattern changes, our minds can quickly adapt. The last example I would like to share is when I moved from India to Indonesia. This was probably the biggest adaptation for me. In Indonesia, they speak the native language Bahasa, which took me a long time to learn and get hang of. In Indonesia, when I first came here, I was very afraid of the people I would meet. But when I saw how nice and kind they were, I instantly felt welcomed. Over here, there are only two types of weather, rainy and summers. Oh, I miss the Indian winters so much. Over here, there's a different type of food. Good and different, but so much to miss about the Indian butter chicken. Yum. But being in Indonesia helped me become more open-minded. As in India, only Indian kids study. But over here, there are multicultural friends from all around the world. Again, the thing here is that I had to adapt to this new environment. I had to leave my love for all things Indian behind and find interest and happiness in new people and environment. Learning for me was that we should understand how to adapt to new people and understand their thinking so that we can adapt to them. As we grow and move ahead in our lives, changes will never stop happening. So we always have to adapt in our lives. We would finish our schools, we would go to colleges in different parts of the world, and from then our journeys would move on to the competitive professional world. There are going to be enormous changes and challenges in the next few years of our lives. We should start thinking about these challenges and how we will adapt to deal with them. We all know the Darwin's theory of evolution, which talks about the survival of the fittest. So we should all adapt to be the fittest so that survival is smooth and joyful. I would like to end by saying, life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. So friends, open up, make rain your friend, and dance the journey of life. Thank you.